Well, it's Sunday morning, everybody, and here I am with my buddy Keith H. Keith, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
All right. So it is time chatting with Charles, Keith.
All right, cool.
All right. So while we prep you, while we get ready to hear how you started your guitar journey, let's go through the chat and see what we got.
Yeah, let's see who's here.
All right. So we got Zach Thong saying, "Hey, Charles 75N and Keith H." We got DC Rich 581 saying, "Hello, all fighting a cold off this weekend." Oh, well, hope that you get over that cold real quick. We got Cushman NYC saying, "Hello, peoples." All right. Then he corrects it with hello, of course. We got our buddy Dave Chase saying, "Hello to Keith, Charles and Keith. Looking forward to it. And so am I. So am I." We got Michael B, and he's saying, "Hey, all, listening while working." Cool. Well, appreciate you. We got another puppy badass saying, "Hey, Charles and Keith and my brothers." We got Greasy Monkey Guitars making an appearance saying, "Good morning, Charles 75 and Michael B and Puppy Badass." And Wayne McConnell's made his way in with a hi, buddy. Well, appreciate you. We got Arf, who's saying, "Dr. Fabric, esteemed guest, chat, fam. I'll be listening, watching, but got my hands busy half the time." Well, we appreciate you being here. Let's see. We got Brother Ben Coombs, who's with greetings and salutations. And just remember that Simon Hosford is on his show later on this evening. We got Dashley Dave with the Sepcial. We've got Matt McCall Music saying, "Here, appreciate it." And Steve Reeser with the "Good morning, everybody." Good morning to you, Steve. We've got Stephen Mach Michelli, and he's saying, "Hey, Charles 75 and Keith." And Ben is saying, "Will Trev wake up for this?" Well, we'll find out across the way for sure. Let's see. And let's see. And that pretty much catches us up because it's more people talking and saying hello to each other. So
cool.
So I'm going
to remember you're here on your own risk. If I ruin your morning, well, you could have been anywhere.
Well, we know from the Water Buffalo meetings that Keith is a fountain of stories, and the next one is more hilarious than the one he just told. And so
no pressure.
Looking forward to hearing these. We got Bo Guitar Man 45 has made his way in, and so Keith can't see the chat until I put him up there. So that's what we're going to do. And there we go. Ken Hip Metalworks has made his way in with good AA.
Cheers, Hip.
There you go. Cheers. All right, Keith. So now we get to the really interesting part, my favorite part, because I get to ask my one question. And so interestingly, how did you begin your guitar journey?
Ooh, I was probably about 10 or 11, and I really wanted to play guitar and stuff. So I was bugging my dad, and he's like, "Well, will you stick with it? Will you stick with it? Mm-hmm. If you're I don't mind," because my dad always thought I should have all kinds of jobs, be able to do this, be able to do that. Always have something to fall back on. He was one of them,
Yeah, for sure.
So we went to the music store, and they give lessons there. We signed up for lessons, and the most expensive Yamaha they had in there was like $289 or something like that. Mm-hmm. That was the most expensive Yamaha they had. But back then, that was a lot of money, probably $72. Sure. Yeah. So I took that, started doing lessons with that. I had a lot of friends that were really good musicians, like a friend I knew from third grade. Mm-hmm. He could play Bach when he was in fifth on the piano when we were in fifth grade. He was just unbelievable. He would sing Saturday night, he would sing Journey, Led Zeppelin. I mean, just everybody like that. And then Sunday morning, he'd be bass baritone in the church. So he just had a voice that was unbelievable. And so I was hanging out with him. If I wanted to learn a song, he was just perfect. If I wanted to learn a song, it was tat, 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 me matching it, tat, 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 me matching it. I don't know how he had the patience to put up with me, but it didn't seem to bother him. So that was cool. And then let's see.
So how long did we do the lesson things in with the Yamaha?
Oh God, quite a while. I was carrying that guitar around everywhere I went,
Mm-hmm.
and I just had it all the time. And uh, then my first guitar. Well, that's my first guitar, but I took lessons for God 4 or 5 years on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I was in ninth grade, I was still taking lessons. See, and all my friends were like master fucking everything, you know. And I was
Yeah.
still taking lessons. But I got a job at a college. I didn't get a job. I was at a junior college, and they needed a photographer for their paper. So I took that job, and it was a 2-week paper. So for a week and a half, nobody knew what they wanted a picture of. And then that Wednesday, there'd be a whole like 10 things they wanted pictures of for the paper that comes out that weekend. And so I'd have to run around. But the rest of the time, I had the whole dark room, film stuff. So like I was, for that last guitar teacher, I was taking pictures of his band to pay for my guitar lessons.
I love it.
So that was really cool.
I absolutely love it. And so what was it that made you want to play though? Because you talk about, you wanted to play, and dad took you in, he got you lessons in the Yamaha, but what made you want to be a guitar player?
I was a kind of a nature freak when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta have your fingers touching the strings, and the string can't be metal. And I was just like all aboard against everything except naturalism,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like at 11 years old. So that's why I fell for the guitar with the classical things.
So was the Yamaha a nylon string?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had it, I took it everywhere. Then, for instance, I was at a friend's apartment complex, and this guy shows up, and he said he heard that I'm the one that plays guitar around here, and he wanted to know if I wanted to buy his guitar. He opens it up, and it was a 73 Fender with no whammy. There's no whammy on it. It was string through. And he told me how much he wanted, and I said, nah. He was shipping out the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So it's like, well, I'll tell you what, I can, if you want, I'll give you $400 for it, because he wanted a lot more. It was in perfect condition. I mean, it was a total professional guitar. Wood grain, it was really nice. I go, I'll give you $400 for it. But I'll be here in this spot at 4 in the morning, and if you still have it and want to sell it, come by and see me. He showed up at 4 in the morning. From then on, I had an electric Stratocaster. So that was cool. Oh, first I ran to my dad, and Dad, I need some money. What for? I want to buy a guitar. I go, it's a really super good deal. Yeah, but is it a really, really good deal? You're not being taken? I had to convince my dad,
Okay, I must have missed this in the story, but how old were you at this time?
Oh, I was in probably 8th grade. 9th grade.
8th grade, you're meeting some strange guy in a parking lot somewhere at 4 in the morning, and your dad's like, yeah, here's the money.
Yeah, he was all worried about it. He was paranoid about all that stuff. I think I left that part out to him. There's no way he would let me go somewhere.
Of course. Yeah,
I was just staying at a friend's house.
That's right. That sounds like a story. Bo is asking, so what was the first real rock tune you learned?
Oh, shoot. Well, of course you're going to hate me if I say Stairway to Heaven. Because everybody learns that.
The truth is the truth, right?
I was in school, and the kid my friend wrote down all the chords and stuff for me. I went home and started playing it, practicing it, and he showed up and filled me in, and then I had that song down. It was pretty cool.
Well, and I would think if you started on a nylon string guitar, that is just the kind of tune that you'd want to learn.
Yeah, you just love the beginning of that ding ding, Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why it gets on that do not play list is just because people are, so tired of hearing it. But at the time when you were learning it, that wasn't the case.
No, 78 or something like that, 77. So there wasn't all that mystique about that song yet. That was another cool thing about living when I did between the late 80s, the late 70s, and the early 80s.
See, our guest is so popular, he's getting calls.
That was Ed.
Of course.
Hey,
Ed, we're
Ed,
doing a
watch the show.
here.
Yeah, watch the show.
Watch the show. And Decline says that is an awesome story. And JP Page 2 has made his way in.
Yay!
Yep.
Hey, so ask him how much the last concert cost for him to go to. He went and saw Neil Young.
Okay, yeah, Jim. How much were the Neil Young tickets? We don't know, man. We just work here. Oh well, why we wait for that answer? So, Stairway's the first rock
That's
song.
the first real heavy song.
What was the first song you remember learning?
The first song I remember, Green Sleeves. That was it, Green Sleeves, and I kept looking for rock songs that were close to classical songs.
Love it. And what's up, Jimmy Bider?
That's great. Everybody showed up.
Yep. Look at that. Yeah, we've got 24 in with us now, and we'll be up over 30 before long, I'm sure.
There were 40, but they saw I was the host and said, "Hey."
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. All right. So, I'm really curious because it's the first guitar thing is always a kind of a strange thing. So, is that Yamaha still in your collection?
No, I took that thing everywhere, and it's not.
So, is that
okay? Another thing that happened with my dad? Do you want to hear this? Or are you going to say something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
About that same time, after I got that guitar, my dad when I leave in the morning. He goes, "Now make sure you come home right after school. I want to show you something." I'm like, "Huh?" He goes, "Yeah, come home. Just come home after school." I was like, "Well, that's weird. I never said that to me before." So after school, I show up at my house and there's all these people there. I mean, there was like 10 people in my living room. They had a big old amp and they had a steel slide set up, with pedals under it, pedal slide,
Steel, yeah.
I'm just kind of walking by going, I got to go to my friend's house. And my dad's going, "No, come here, look at this." And he's going, "You see this guy? He really needs the money and he wants to sell this really bad. If you want it, I'll get it for you." And I was like, "But that's like cowboy music." And I want to learn rock. So I was such a freaking idiot. I grabbed my guitar, went over to my friends, and started working on other music. I'm sure he was bummed out because he had set this whole thing up for me. And at the time, I didn't even dawn on me what was going on. I was just like, "No, that's not what I'm playing right now."
Well, that's funny because when you look back on your life, you're loads and loads of conversations like that with your parents where they were trying to do something really cool and you completely missed it, right? Because you're
totally flew by
that way, right? And your parents,
my dad just didn't buy shit out of the blue either.
Yeah. So this was a deal he'd probably been working on for a while.
Yeah. They had it all set up. We're playing it when I walked in. It wasn't just there. It was set up with people all around. And it was crazy.
So Ed said the reason why he called because he wasn't sure you had woke up. Then I said, Ben comes, so I reset my page. Sorry about that, guys. It's funny.
Well, he called at 1 and I was sleeping, and I texted him back early this morning that, just to see what he wanted, but he didn't answer.
Well, you see what happens
until now.
What happens with Ed a lot is he can't wait for the show to start, so he'll pull it up, right? Yeah. And you know how YouTube is sometimes when you open the show way too, really early, it doesn't start the show for you. You have to refresh your page. Right. And so whenever a show doesn't start, he just waits. And I'm like,
"Oh, I know.
If the show was supposed to have started, just refresh your page. It'll catch up."
Yeah, he's doing pretty good though.
But he
got a guitar lesson from Michael last night.
Oh,
yesterday. Awesome. And he really showed him this and that and everything. It was really cool. I mean, it was like half hour, 45 minutes long, Ed trying stuff. So that was really cool. I mean, Michael's the type that says, "Hey, wait, stop. your B string's out of tune.
Yeah.
While he's playing, fucking Michael's like, can't handle that. That hurts. Gotta have that tune. He's funny. He's really a good guy, Michael.
Welcome in, Brian, searching from tone.
Hey, Brian.
He is so now we're up to 29. See, you're climbing in the numbers, Keith. You're climbing in the numbers. Okay, so but no, like we're talking about, there's like all these things that your parents set up for you, and you're like, as a kid, you're just like, nope, not what I want right now.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So you begin, you take all these lessons, and you're playing with some friends, and so where's the guitar journey going from there?
Well, I was playing with friends a lot, and I mean, really good fucking people. And I ended up out in the desert. Where my dad had died, and my mom had wanted to do this thing in the desert with this restaurant and all this crap, and she wanted me to go help her. So we went and helped her. And when I got there, I met a guy that had played with Santana and his friends, and that was really cool. So I got a lot of playing in. I got a job at a mine, and the guy after work would come down 2 days a week till his kid got out of school and played with him 3 hours a day. So I got to keep playing even though I was out there in the middle of the desert.
Oh, update from Bo. He says, did I tell you guys I did find a great article here, Hubbard Breeze music. Now I have to go see it. Okay.
Well, oh wow. He gets to see it before he buys it. That's cool.
Well, it's local apparently. So hey, Jade Guitars.
Yeah, so, but from that time and going to the desert, we ended up having 2 kids. And I kind of sold a couple guitars and pay for them. And totally covered the cost.
So what did you have to sell?
The 335 Gibson 65. That was beautiful as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that because I was down by the beach, and this guy was cleaning out the garage for his mom. And his mom wanted all the stuff out of the garage, and that guitar was his brother's, but he left it there 4 or 5 years ago and never came back. I looked over at it, and the lid was open. It was covered with dust, so I don't even think they had the thing on it. There was like a 1/4 inch of dust just covering this thing. And I go, well, what do you want? And he goes, well, how about a couple tie sticks? And no shit. And he was just like, he had no idea about guitars. He had no idea about anything. I just barely touched it, and I just shut my mouth. And there was another kid there that I knew from school that ended up being into punk bands. But he was there too, and we both took off running at the same time. And I lived close enough to the beach, I could run to my house. So I ran to my house. I said, Dad, I need some money. I got a super good deal. And he goes, how much? And he gave me the amount. And I went back down there, and I go, I ain't got no tie sticks, but I can pay you the money so you can go get some. The guy goes, okay. So I took the guitar. I took it home. I cleaned it up, and it had all the cracks in it, the natural
checking.
Yeah, natural checks all the way down. It just was the most beautiful thing. And the other guy that was there showed up at my house and wanted to buy it from me. And I'm like, no, I got to keep it. And he's going, I'll give you $2,000 for it. And I'm like, no. I mean, I just got it for nothing, but still, it was a 335, and it was perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that paid for one kid totally.
And so Bo says, yeah, that Gretsch he's looking at is $400 with a case. Hope it's not beat up. And Ben's reminding him, make sure that it's made in Korea. That price sounds like the Chinese price to him. But if that's the Korean model, that's awesome. He's gonna sleep in. And welcome in Dan Gorman. And Ed is saying hello to everybody in the chat. See, there you go. So that just blows my mind. The $335 for the price of two tie sticks.
Okay, now at that time I knew where there were 367 Fenders for $800. That was the
Mhm.
price of them that then around was $800. And I knew where 3 of them was. My guitar teacher played one of those, and my guitar I thought was nicer. And it was a 73. I'm sure it wasn't. That was just me, you know.
Mhm. Zach Funk says, "Don't get me wrong, Gretsch guitars are cool, but cool guitars at the moment. I'm not really looking for a guitar. I'm happy with the ones I already have. I want to play those." And I get that. I certainly get that.
Back in the day, you had one guitar and you dragged it all over hell.
Yeah.
Literally. I took my guitar to the movies because I wouldn't have time to go home and I'd meet somebody. We were going to the movies, and I just take it into the movies with me. I took it everywhere.
Did you get weird looks?
No, not really. Let's put it in the seat next to us. And then when we came out, this is the sad part. This girl I had met, and we were talking a whole bunch, and she was new to the area, and we were talking like crazy, and she wanted to pay for me to go to a movie with her. So we go to this movie. We come out. We get talking right there by the car, and we're talking and we're talking. We get in to leave, and I start to back up, and my guitar's still sitting out there. I'm like, oh shit, I slammed on the brakes, and it just touched the case, and it fell over. Fuck, there's one I could have fucking smashed. I've done stupid things and got away with it.
So what would you say is the stupidest thing you've done that you've gotten away with, Keith?
Nice one. I had my camera and all my camera. I met that same girl without talking to me next to my car, and she liked to talk, and we're talking. And I set my camera gear and everything on my hood while we're talking, and we squatted down and smoked a bowl of hash. That probably didn't help, but we got in the car and I rev it up and I take off and I see all my camera gear on the hood of the car. So the first thing I do is put on the brakes and it starts to slide off. So I step on the gas, it slides back on. And then I had to slow down gradually because I was running out of room and the end of the parking lot was coming real soon. I went through the crossroad and just off the road a little bit. And I stopped and it was right on the edge. I got that fucker, threw it in the car. So son of a bitch. That was really stupid. I had the expensive shit, you know.
Well, one of the things that you and I were talking about in the green room were how important concerts were to you, and
oh yeah,
and you have a bunch of concert tickets with you.
So I was just wondering, did we ever get a price on who went to the latest concert and how much did they pay?
No, I didn't see an answer for that.
Anybody that's been to a concert, you tell us how much you paid.
Welcome in, Roadie's Jam Cave. We go back in the chat and look, and I don't think I remember seeing one. No.
No, anyway, they cost a lot nowadays. Like here.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
I went to the REO Speedwagon, and it was $16 for the main floor seats. We were right in front, and then they have the sides all blocked off. Well, we go in there, we find our seats, we sit down. In fact, these guys come by and they go, "You're in our seats," and they like wanted to fight. I go, "Hey man, cool out. They're just fucking seats." You know, I mean, he was really upset that we took his seats. And so I called over the fucking usher person and I go, "Hey, whose seats are where? You know, are these my seats?" And I give her my ticket. And she goes, "No, these are not your seats. These are his seats." So we move out of the way. He sits down. She walks me to the front of the stage, walks across, walks back like fourth row, and sits me down right in the middle of the stage. The other seats, you couldn't even see half of the stage. You were like, you couldn't see, it was cut off, you know?
Right.
So that was my REO trip.
Actually had better seats.
Oh, yes. Right in front, fourth row. Fucking REO and the fucking Fabulous Thunderbirds kicked ass. They were really fun. See, things that were big then don't sound so big now because time has gone by. And, you know, we used to listen to shit that just came out. Like Boston came out with an album, then they were supposed to come out with another one. We waited and waited and waited and waited, you know? So,
oh, yeah, you had to wait. It's like it was almost a year from the album came out before you got to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 2 years.
Well, Guitar Man 45 says concerts were a thing back then, paid from $7 to $20.
Yeah. I saw Bruce Springsteen for, I think it was $15. $15 or $16. $15. I saw Bruce Springsteen, and see,
Mhm.
Bruce was really big coming out of the 70s, and then he started touring. Well, he did the first tour in Minnesota where I was at the time, and
Mhm.
so it was a show where Courtney Cox jumped up on stage and danced with him from the video. It was like the first tour, first show of the tour, and so we were right alongside. And they had these two old funky cameras all wrapped up, pointed at him, and nobody would move. We screamed and hollered, nobody would come over to us, and they were all standing on tape marks, so they all had to stay in the same spot.
Right.
Clarence is the only one that walked over and said, "Right on, dudes, go," because we were screaming. I was trying to out-scream him, That was really loud back then, really loud. And he was like the coolest person, and he walked back. Well, Courtney Cox jumps up on stage. We didn't know who that was then at the
Right.
time, but it was all pretty cool. So at the end of the concert, I climbed down to the rail right next to the stage, and I tried, because the concert was over, and I was
Mhm.
trying to scream so they could hear me screaming on it. And I screamed so loud and so loud, and I know you're going to be able to hear me on the end of that video. I just knew it, But at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to scream loud enough so they heard the noise,
Right.
however they did it. And then at the night, the audience was so fucking loud. They're just insane, so loud. I said, this is going to show up on the recording, but it didn't. It was filtered all the way down, and in the background, you can hear me going, ah! Screaming my head off. But you had to know it was me.
So
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 that's fun.
what is your craziest concert story then?
Crankiest? Oh, I got off work, and the crappiest one.
The craziest one. What was the
Oh, the
craziest
craziest
thing you
one.
happened to at a concert? Yeah.
I don't know if it's crazy. Well, one of the craziest ones was when I first met Laura and we went on a date, and I picked her up and we're going to the concert and we're going to see Queen.
Mhm.
And we was getting towards the end of the concert, and we go, let's go see how close we can get to the band. So we went up to the thing, we started walking around the building because they had the whole back side pinned off, and they had two stacks. And from there on, it was just the whole back of the audience was closed because they had big monitors and all this crap. So there were no seats behind the stage. So we went up, and a fucking door was open. We go in this door, we run around, we come back out to where people are at. These security guards saw us. Like shit, they came running at us. So we went back in, went down a couple of other aisles, and we came out behind the stage, right alongside the stage. And we're on the stage, and so here comes the fucking guard. They all come running over. Well, there was a not barbed wire, but there's a big metal fence running down right to the corner of this thing, And they
Mhm.
all come running up, and they're on the other side of the fence, and we were on the inside, and we're just like, they were literally 2 feet from me. And then, the last song, they realized we weren't going to hurt anybody or anything. And so they
Uh-huh.
took off. So we walked up. We were right on the corner of the thing that Freddie Mercury went up on and climbed. So we were totally, I swear I felt a fan on me. I don't think the speakers are that bad. But I was just standing there. We walked to the corner and we could look and see Freddie Mercury standing there. And it was just crazy. That was the first date. It's like, I'm a hero. I'm a total hero. You guys think this is badass. We're just sitting there, the wind blowing.
This guy will do anything.
That was crazy.
I love it. And so
Yeah.
how far were you from Freddie Mercury when you saw him?
Probably 15, 20 feet because it was a big stage.
Right.
When he was out in the middle of it, it was probably 25 feet or something.
Morning time surfing alien. He's saying good
What
morning.
he did is he ran up on the left side, and the guitarist ran up on the right side, and they played on top of these towers. And people would try jumping to them and stuff and fall and eat shit. You got to remember back in the 70s and 80s, doors weren't locked a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many things that they made secure after that you could get in anywhere. If they were locked, it was really flimsy. You wanted to go on a roof of a building, you could open the door and find your way up to the roof of the building. It was so different. Oh, and then the other thing I started playing with this guy that was a Vietnam vet, and he had a 65 or 67 Gibson acoustic, and he knew every protest songs there were, and he taught me a lot about this and that, and jamming and chords, and he was great to play with. He was super good. I borrowed the guitar for 3 months at a time. He was really nice.
Steve Easer says, I always thought that was some schoolgirl on that recording. Turns out it was Keith.
It was me. I swear. One time I was hollering so loud at a YouTube concert, he stopped and said, "Where's that girl hollering from?" It probably wasn't me, but I was hollering really loud. And I felt all insulted because he thought it was a girl. But when you're screaming, you know?
Mm.
I had a much higher voice back then.
Oh, my.
I'd answer the phone and they would think, can I talk to your husband, miss? What? Go through the drive-thru. I had a really high voice. I was like, go through the drive-thru. Yes, ma'am. Your order's ready. Son of a bitch.
Well, I remember my grandfather, as he was, his hearing was starting to go out, and he could not hear in my vocal range, in the pitch range of my voice. And so, I was this young, skinny kid, and as I was coming into adulthood, and he just couldn't hear in my in the frequency of my voice, and so I had to lower my voice to talk to my grandfather. It was interesting. Bo says, I remember Queen. They had these platforms being raised up in air, wearing those white outfits. The platform going on the air, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so different when you talk like Bruce Springsteen now. It's like, oh, Bruce, but back then it was such a big deal coming out of his 74 album and all his stuff, and everybody wanted to see him. And then that video came out.
Mm-hmm. So did you see yourself anywhere in the video, or were you not close enough for that? Or because
no, I didn't see I don't think Queen was shooting a video.
No, I mean when on the Springsteen one.
No, I was off to the side.
Okay.
They made it totally perfect. The only people they showed was the front audience and what you're going, yay! Courtney Cox is going like that, and she got up on stage, and then let's win her career.
Time surfing alien saw Ted Nugent in '84. He swung over the crowd on a cable from the balcony as an entrance, but his buddy and him and 100 others. So I guess swung right over them.
Yeah, I got stuck seeing a Ted Nugent concert. I was going to see the Scorpions. Got lost in LA on the way. Try to pull over to ask some of these dudes start running towards the car. Well, I'm not going to ask you. But we finally get there. We walk in and we hear bomb, 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 and Scorpions were done. We caught it right at the last measure of music. And then we went in, same thing. Ted Nugent was swinging around. He had two other young guitarists with him. They're swinging around. It was crazy.
Eddie Faye wants to know at that concert if you got to dance with Courtney Cox.
Oh, man. God. What a free ride that would have been, huh?
Yeah, that would have been something.
And then I saw Motley Crue. That was crazy because there's a few things that happened during that concert. But my wife was going to work at Jack in the Box. And she saw a bunch of people standing in front of the Thomas and Matt. She goes, what's going on over there? And she went over there. See, before when you bought a ticket, you waited in line and got your ticket for your first come, first serve. So if you waited 2 days, you're guaranteed to get the ticket you want, Well, they were changing that, and they made all the people line up in 4 rows. And so they were starting another row. So the lawyer went to that spot, and they lined up. And then by random, they picked out which row went first. So she came home with Motley Crue tickets, and there was nobody in front of us on the stage. And next to us, there was 1 row of seats farther ahead of us. And the first thing I walked in, and the pots went off, and I thought, oh, fuck, I'm going to be blind. I mean, deaf. I'm sure to be deaf. They were so fucking loud. But the whole thing was there's a lot more room where we were at, but there's nobody in front of us except security guards standing along the thing. And Tommy went up in the drum set, went all the way back, and then he came back. And the the security guard motioned for us to stand back. We're still in front of our seats, but he's like, stand back, And fucking Tommy jumped off his fucking drum set. He had his foot in a bungee cord, but you couldn't see that. You just saw him fucking coming down on top of you. Then right before he hit the ground, he bounced back up and down and up and down. So that was fucking something.
Love it. So It's just so many crazy things that happen, at a concert, and it's been so long since I've been to one. I really kind of miss it. Now I'm like, do I really want to pay the money though?
Yeah, me too. Plus, we got a lot of pics from that concert. The first
Mhm.
one, Laura reached down and pulled it out from between her boobs. She had pick landed right there. And then we looked over, and both both the bass player and the guitarist were fucking throwing picks at her, nailing her with picks. We got over 11 dozen picks we brought home, but she gave a lot away on the way out. Because there's like kids going, I wanted a pick and I didn't get one. They're going, here, give them a pick. I'm like, hey, what do you mean get a pick? You got a chance. But yeah, she gave a lot of them away for people that didn't get them. But we still left her with like 11 picks.
Mhm.
Loudest rock show on earth, you know.
Well, Bo says now Motorhead made you deaf for a month.
I bet. Saw Jethro Tull. We came out and we were going home and the fucking radio didn't work. Fucking thing just didn't work, and it worked when we got there. Got home the next morning, got up, fucking turned the car on, the radio was on full blast. We just couldn't fucking hear it on the way.
That's hilarious. Eddie Faye wants to know, so Keith, are you a longtime Nugent family friends?
Not since he started doing his shows.
All right, yeah. And time surfing on seen Leonard Skinner, not the original, never seen 60,000 people sing in unison for an entire concert before or since.
Yeah, that's because he wouldn't sing the last song and everybody sang it in tribute to the main guy dying, you know. That sang. Yeah, we saw them we won tickets off the radio. And we saw them, and it's the same thing. They played the last song with no singer. Another funny thing about that is when we were living in the desert, Laura's working at a Denny's, and I was dropping her off, and we were arguing about something musical. Because I had a house set up, I had a room set up. You hit a switch, and fucking amps come on, a recorder came on, the whole setup, you know. And she had to hurry and get started, you know. And she went into Denny's, and there's these two guys arguing about the same thing we were arguing about. And she took this one guy's side. He was the guy that was doing the singing for Leonard Skinner, and the other guy was a guitarist. They were going back and forth from the Cove and I forget what it's called. But they had a place in Vegas and a place in LA where they played.
Right.
And so she started talking to them. And I had nothing to do that day, so I volunteered to go in for overtime, and I just dropped her off before I left. She's going, man, if you hear these guys are so nice, they would have came over to the house and seen what you had. They were so nice. And I'm going, oh, motherfucker. You run into people, they got a lot of time to burn, and they don't want to be bothered by people, you know? Why not fucking hang out and fucking play for a couple hours? That was her thinking anyway.
Urban Fireside Studio says we should invent a time machine so we can travel back to the 80s and watch all these bands when they were in their prime.
Yeah. Another thing, when you're in a concert and people go crazy for a song, and then they play a new song off their album you haven't heard yet, everybody was quiet and was like not making no noise and stuff. And that was how they introduced their new albums, you know, to audiences. That like right when they release them or right before they release them.
Yep.
They played it in the studio.
We got Mark Taft just joined us. So
hey, Mark.
We must be doing well.
Yeah, we must be doing good. Mark's right on.
He's all right. He is all right. All right. So, what is something that you want to do on your guitar journey that you haven't done yet?
I don't know, just be able to play again. I had my I had my wrist operated on about 5 months ago now, 4 months ago. And after I had it, the pain was gone because I had terrible pain in my arm, and these fingers were asleep. And so I had the operation where they moved the nerve over here in your thing, and then they cut something up here. And so the first time I went to play guitar, I couldn't do nothing. I mean, my fingers were like this far apart. I couldn't do anything. And then like 2 weeks later, I could do a little more. And I just waited because I was like, this is going to suck. If not, I'm ready to sell my stuff, you know? And then the last time, then I went to show Ed a couple chords and stuff, and I could start playing bar chords a little bit. So I'm giving it another 2 weeks.
Well, I see you're making some progress there. Then
Yeah.
did they give you like hand exercises to do?
They didn't give me nothing. I was in there and out. I went in there. They knocked me out. The lady just said you were going under. And I was out. And then they rushed me up and said out. And it's really weird. The doctor, they tell you what time to come in for the surgery on that day.
Right.
So like at 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll get a call saying come in at 8. It's not like a scheduled thing. And then they were just rushing me. They ran me back up, threw my fucking shirt on, and fucking pushed me out the door.
So you were on the assembly line.
Probably. Yeah, literally. There's somebody else coming in the other way.
That's right. Well, Gear Junkie 35 has made his way in. He says, good day, you wonderful audio miscreants. Hope it's going to be a great day for you. And we hope the same for you, Jason.
Yeah, definitely. If it didn't get ruined by this show, it's only going to get better. Don't worry.
And Blackjack Guitar says the time machine is YouTube for sure. And for a lot of us, that has been pretty much some truth there. Yeah, Mancha saying, I'm so glad I didn't sell my guitars when I crushed my hand. Well, we're glad you didn't either. You still got them.
It makes you feel like it though, because you get so pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to this party one time, and I knew the owner of the building, and her boyfriend or husband came down from Frisco, and they had like 10 or 12 bands there, and they were playing all weekend long. And the guitarist, her husband, played my guitar for a set or two. And then there was a lot of people there, and it was just on an open field, and everybody's just sitting around, and a lot of it was just band people, you know. And so this girl needed a ride home. I gave her a ride home. I ended up falling asleep there because I hadn't been asleep for 2 days after the concert thing and all this other crap that went on. And I wake up and I go back, and all the people are gone, and my guitar is gone. I forgot to let that guy have my guitar to play with. Son of a bitch, my guitar is gone. I was so tired, I fell asleep and didn't even think about it, you know? And so I'm looking around this backyard, and there's nothing there. Way off in the corner, there's a fucking shed. And I'm like, no, it can't be in that shed. They wouldn't do that, would they? And I walk over, open the doors, and there's my guitar sitting up there on the fucking shelf of the shed. Fucking so cool. The guy then he wanted me to go back with San Francisco with him if I play with him, and they give me a room and everything. And but fuck, how could I leave fucking what I had? You know, I had a 60 convertible Camaro my dad bought, and it was like he got it for nothing. I had a fucking Stratocaster. I was living at home. Fucking all my brothers had moved out. I was the only one still there. So it's like, God, how could, I just had it too nice here. I get to go to fucking college and all this stuff. But, if I would have took that offer, it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, well, you never know. The choices that we make and where they take us. And it's like, well, maybe it would have been better. Maybe it would have been worse. You'd never know.
Yeah, you never know. That's what I mean. That's why I couldn't do it, because, God, I just got it so good here. That's how I look at everything.
Yeah, and you're on your own journey at that point too.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna do? And after hearing a bunch of your stories, it sounds like you've had quite the journey.
I had a few. I'm not even talking about none of them yet.
Well, you are free to, my friend.
No, what do you guys want to hear?
Look at the numbers; they're still going up. There's 33 here now.
Ooh, shoot. They just realized I was here. They're 32 now.
No, it's 35 now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, see, it just went up by 2. 34. Someone changed their mind.
Judas Priest that year was $12 to get into Judas Priest.
Nice. In 84? Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's $12.
84, I was already paying $25 for a ticket.
Oh, this one here? Called The Flu with Joe Walsh. Yeah, that was my wife's birthday too by accident. 93. How much was this one? This one costs more, I think, because I think it's $25. Yeah, $25.
25 on
That
that one.
concert, a guy at work goes, Joe Walsh is playing in town tomorrow. I go, what? He goes, Joe Walsh is playing in town tomorrow. You want to go? Hell yeah, I want to go. So we get out the next day, we get off work. It might even been the same day. Get off work. I think Lori picks me up at work. Fucking, we go there, and it's like an old movie theater, and there's no people waiting in line. There's nobody there. We went right after work, so we're sure to get seats because the concert didn't start till 7. And it was like, I got off work like at 2 or 3. So we fucking go there, and fucking, there's nobody in line or anything. Pay $25 to go in. It's like a theater for seeing movies. There's no people in there yet. This was a 1-day notice to see Joe Walsh. It was just fucking crazy. It was a year before his big tour went off. He toured the next year with chick from Fleetwood Mac, but this was before that. And all the equipment oh god darn it, had all the equipment from when he was in the other bands. That was really cool.
Eddie Faye says, so what part of the country are you in now?
Canada. No, just kidding. No, I'm in California. Oregon, about 10 miles from California.
There you go. So you're in Southern Oregon, about 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's not a bad place. Now, that's another thing. I got a bunch of gear together because when we left and my friends, I got a whole bunch of gear together and came up here thinking I was going to play guitar. We get up here. Laura's mom lived here. We come up here. I try to go get in these bands and stuff, and they're all fucking doing the heaviest drugs. I mean, big time stuff, not like smoking a little or whatever. And it just turned me off. That was the only people I ran into,
So apparently Ed has heard some of your stories. He says, tell him how your wife bought you the guitar, Keith. That was special.
Oh, well, there's 2 of them, but the one is kind of sad because I don't have it no more. But we're in Barstow, and I had sold my other guitars, like I told you, for the kids, and we moved up there, and we went to a guitar shop in fucking right down the way for Barstow. It was in Barstow. We go in, we start looking, and they had, this was in 86, and they had a fucking Stratocaster made in Japan, had locking nuts, had fine tuners on it, and it's just like the coolest red fucking, just a beautiful fucking candy apple red. It was fucking killer. And Laura goes, look at it. And I go, no, I don't want to look at it. She goes, look at it. I go, if I want it, then I'll want to buy it. I can't just look at it and then not get it and walk out with it, Didn't have the money on us at the time, She goes, well, just take it here. Let's put a down payment on it. So she put money down on it, and we had to come back like in a month and put money down, So we're in the desert. You could drive to a casino. We're going to go to a casino for lunch. And we get in there and we start gambling, and we're going for lunch. We start gambling. Well, we fucking spent all our money, and we hadn't had lunch yet. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm waiting. I go, I'll see you. I'm waiting by the front door, just waiting for her. She goes, I got tickets to check still. She goes over to the Keno booth, and she's waiting back there. And so I hear somebody screaming. I'm like, fuck, that sounds like Laura. And she comes running out, fucking all the way across the casino, going, here's your guitar. Here's your guitar. She won a couple $1,000 on her fucking last ticket to Keno. And so then she goes, well, let's go play this. I go, no, fuck you. We're going to go eat. We haven't eaten all fucking day. We're not gambling no more. We're going to eat. But that was a super nice guitar.
That's awesome.
It was just perfect. Candy apple red. And I don't know why it had lockdown tuners and the fine tuners, and it was like pretty much a regular tremolo. But it was perfect. Stayed in tune forever.
That is funny. That's a great story, though. I mean, you want it, you don't have the money for it, and then you go to the casino to gamble. She wins the money, and you get the guitar. Awesome.
Yeah, she was more worried about it than me because she felt bad because I lost my last 2 guitars paying doctor bills. So she felt really bad for me because the one I got rid of was right before we went up there.
Right.
Well, a year and a half before we went up there. Yeah, you meet all kinds of people working. I had a restaurant at the turn off to Death Valley. Met all kinds of fucking people there.
Oh yeah. So anyone we would know or
Fucking James Arnez pulled up out in front, and we weren't open yet. Me and Laura took turns. One of us would go in at 8 or 6 and put the ice cream machines all together and stuff. The other one would take the kids to the sitter and come in around 10. It was Laura's turn to go in. She goes, "Will you go in for me today?" And I go, "Sure." So I go in, and we're sitting there. This guy's out front, and he knocks on the door. So I go unlock it, and he goes, "Is there any way we can get coffee here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, come on in." And as soon as you heard his voice, you knew it was James Arnez from Gunsmoke.
Yep.
You knew it was him. That voice, then he walked up to the counter. I didn't say nothing. I went around, came back in. The girl working goes, "Anyone tell you you look like James Arnez?" And he goes, "Well, I am." She goes, "No, really, seriously, you do look like him." He takes off his hat. He goes, "I am him." And then she freaked out. She's the one that freaks out when celebrities come by. And she just freaked out. So anyway, he sat there, drank coffee. He must have his nephew or somebody with him. And he's pulling out and Laura's pulling in. I go, "Hey, guess who you just missed?" Bullshitting with James Arnez. That was a pretty good one.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And Mr. BHB Jr. Bruce is here with us. He said, "I've been listening since the beginning. Hello, everybody." Well, hello there to you.
Hey. Yeah, I got into a lot of crazy shit that worked out good.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you've kind of stumbled into one amazing event after another.
Should I tell what happened last night with that pedal?
Oh, why not?
Those guys might get mad at me though, because I just tuned in and won. Fucking Ed called me and said, "Oh, 0812 fucking crew is playing. They're giving giveaways. Go type winner in the column." And he gave me the link. I went there and I typed the winner in. And not 3 minutes, they drew my name. Some kind of Boss HD 4D or something pedal. Supposed to be like brand new. It's $240 pedal.
There you go. That should be fun. Another toy.
Yeah, that should be really fun.
And now that the hand is starting to behave, who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? I'm so hoping. I've been starting to look at music again. I've been starting to look at shit and watch shit. Going, come on.
See, Dave, I wasn't going to say it, but I was thinking it.
I was going to say without the stuttering, but hey, I can't say that.
And Zach says last night's show was crazy. And I heard Zach was playing last night as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody that came in had to take a drink. It was crazy. And they were taking shots for probably $20 because they were getting pretty buzzed. And they got like 4 more shots of 4 or 5 more $20 fucking chats.
There you go.
So they were raking, but they were drunk as hell, I'm sure. Trev's probably not awake. He ended up making Long Island iced tea and said, "I'll just sit drink this," because he was doing a shot every time everybody else was.
Oh, there you go. There you go for sure. Vox Guitar Rock says, "Sorry I'm late. I'm at work and watching Renee Sandberg highlights." Oh, I get it. Things go on. Things go on. And, Vox is a loyal...
it's really nice seeing you, though.
And, so we get it. We understand. Let's see. That is too funny.
That is funny.
Jack says, "Just put me out there. I did not take a shot. I don't drink." Well, that's all right, buddy.
Yeah, they let him slide. They let him slide.
Trev, when the show started, no reply.
Everybody else had to take a shot that's on the floor.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. And then Monch said, "I used to put on Gunsmoke for Mom every day when I took care of her those last 4 years. She used to watch it with Dad back in the day." That's right.
Yeah, I was right when remember when the new Gunsmoke movie came out?
Mm-hmm.
That was right when I saw him. They had just redone the comeback in the movie.
I like this. Vox Guitar Rock says, I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less either.
Somebody on there is going, oh, I haven't had a drink in 15 years, but I guess I'm going to have to start now. No. You're okay. You don't have to have a drink.
Arp said he might start drinking. Oh, boy.
Robert Conrad came in, the guy from Baba Black Sheep and Wild Wild West. And I swear, he comes in, he's looking at you. I swear you can just see that battery sitting on his arm, on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. That's when they were doing all those commercials. Knock this off my shoulder. Remember the battery? Put it on there. Boy, I swear you could just envision that when you saw him. And it's like, oh, he looks just as tough in real life.
It is, Ed used to love Wild Wild West. So if it was on TV, we were watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to love Baba Black Sheep.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say anything?
If you don't stop drinking, you never get hangovers. Win-win. Oh, so any other great concert stories?
Oh, yeah, a few. That Motley Crue one. Mm-hmm. Fucking, he threw 2 drumsticks into the crowd. The dude jumped up, caught them both, and threw them back at him. Fucking, because I go, oh fuck, there they go, and fucking boom, there they go. I saw Guns N' Roses. That was kind of sucky.
Yeah, I heard they weren't as good live as they are on their albums.
Parts of them were still good. Slash was excellent and louder than hell, but we were like right behind the stage, and the drummer was the first drummer that was with him. I can't remember his name now. Yeah, and he was gonna go. They hadn't thrown nothing to the crowd at all, nothing, and he went to fucking get a drumstick, and this guy took it from him and threw it right up past us because we were right on the edge of the fucking drop off behind the stage. And fucking the thing went across, and all these dudes dove for it, missed. It landed in his seat, went tick tick, and went back over my head, and landed in front of Laura and just rolled right up to her. So she got a drumstick from them. That was cool.
Paul says it's a good way to get a poke in the eye with the drumsticks.
Yep.
Monch wants to know if did I see Saxon Y's demo on the Cadillac Green Gretsch the other day? No, I didn't, but I will now go check it out. All right. And then everybody, Vox Guitar is talking to, where did he go? I hate this when things move. Oh, is he here? He is. I'm sitting there looking at it. Hey, Fox is saying hello to Hip and hello to Ben. And just remember that Ben does have Simon Hosford on the show this evening. So it'll be a great one to watch. I know that Valerie Bott goes live at 11 o'clock, and so does Music 11 o'clock at 1 o'clock Eastern. And Laz is going to go on, and when we finish up here as well. So, take your choice, pick your poison over there. Make sure you check out all the great shows. I know, I guess Pete Thorne, I don't know if Pete Thorne is going live today. I imagine he would be.
Real quick, how I got so many good concert tickets. A friend of mine went for the head shop sold tickets, and he'd go wait in line the night before and buy 100 of them, and they give him 5 to bring back to the business. So he get 5 tickets, and I'm the only one that had a car. So I got all kinds of rides.
Yeah, it's a good way to get into a concert.
And I had a girlfriend not a real girlfriend, but a friend girl that worked at a head shop. And she got me the Tom Petty tickets fucking the day before the concerts. She goes, oh, I was kind of saving these, but I'll sell them to you because I'd like you. And I'm like, yeah. They're right next to the stage, and it's when Stevie Nicks came out and sang and did all that stuff. That was fucking crazy.
Always a good time. Always a good time at concerts.
Well, shoot, we're out of time already, huh?
Yeah, but if you got another story you want to tell, we could stretch it a bit.
No, I don't want to cram this stuff.
All right. Well, folks, I want to
It's like
thank
looking at a dictionary and saying, what word should I say? Huh.
well, Keith, it was an absolutely great show. And we're
Thank you very much for having me. And thanks for all the people out there that are always nice to me and reply. And just a great crew, the whole audience. I mean, they've been nice since forever.
And that's what this show is all about grabbing our community, pulling them closer together, getting to know that guy you see in the chat a little bit more.
Yeah.
And now we know more about Keith that maybe some of it we wanted to know, some of it we didn't. But it was a great time, and we're going to have to do it again. If you would ever like to be on Chat with Charles, you guys in the chat, there's email down in the description. Or you can go over to the channel and check it out there, and there's an email there. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the shows. You can see me over on Monday evening with Ben on doing bad album covers. So, but make sure you catch Ben this evening. Simon Hosford is going to be great. Keith, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no, thank you.
Absolutely great time, my friend. Everyone,
thank you.
Everyone in the chat, you guys did great. Keith, you hold on. We'll talk a little bit more here.
Okay. Thanks for all the guys in the audience.
Yep. And we're going to play everybody out with our theme song written by Ben Coons.
All right.
All right.